Oh, come on. We can't be this fucking giddy.
I've been drinking. I have an excuse.
I'm going to do the rest
Stop.
of the episode
No, you're
in
not.
this voice.
You hurt your voice so bad last time. No, you're not.
I did not. It just made me cough like I vape.
You're not doing that the whole time.
Welcome to Cinema Roulette. Oh yeah, that was my voice giving up.
I was waiting for it. Good job. Good job.
Wow, my voice hurts for some reason.
Gee, I wonder fucking why.
Why do we do the opening joke first before the spoiler warning? It just makes editing way more complicated.
Oh no, I have to select this and then drag it after.
Dude, it's so much harder.
Oh man, it takes an extra 5 goddamn seconds.
Yeah, but for your editing time, that's like 2 days.
It doesn't take me 2 days to do that.
Warning! We are about to spoil the entirety of Black Lagoon Roberta's Blood Trail. If you haven't seen it and plan on watching it, please click away now. But if you have seen it and don't care, or just don't care, then please stick around.
You want to try that one
Yeah,
more
I
time?
fucked up. Keep it going.
Yeah. You try that again.
No, fucked up. Just keep going.
God damn it, Jonathan! Hello, everybody,
No.
and
That was not on purpose. That was just bad timing.
nice. Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cinema Roulette. On today's episode, we are tackling the last arc of the Black Lagoon anime, Roberta's Blood Trail.
Unless you're Letterboxd, then it's a Black Lagoon movie.
I guess so.
It's 2 hours, 48 minutes. I'll count it.
Yeah, it is close to, I mean, you could watch Lawrence of Arabia in that time, or Ben-Hur.
Yeah, but why would you when you can watch Black Lagoon Roberta's Blood Trail?
Exactly. Not saying it was a bad movie. I fucking love Lawrence of Arabia and Ben-Hur. But it's Roberta's Blood Trail.
It's Roberta's Blood Trail, which I think after this viewing we look at a bit lower than we previously did.
Yeah, and I think that was mostly thanks to Mini-Maid, right?
Yeah, May kind of... Well, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
We will explain.
But first, I think I'll let you do the synopsis again.
Oh, I'm so good at these.
I know
I should
you
get
are.
paid for this, but not enough people watch for us to make any money off this. Well, anyway. So, okay, we need to catch up with Roberta real quick, because that's how this arc opens. Turns out, Roberta went back to her life as a maid. And then some stupid fucking Americans decide to kill her master. He was assassinated. I don't think we ever get a reason for why he was assassinated.
No, for some reason the CIA wanted him dead. It's never fully explained the reasons why, but they just wanted him.
Just go with Cold War.
I guess.
Cold War reasons.
Yeah.
Well, then again, it's in the 90s. We find it's in 95.
Well, the Cold War. When did the Cold War really end? Like early 90s?
When we tore down the wall. Whenever we.
So that
did
was
that.
like, I think 89, 90, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's when the Cold War ended. But yeah, I think the CIA.
I forget when we stopped fucking over Latin America.
I don't know if we ever stopped over fucking over Latin America.
Hey, we did. We're not stepping in now. Okay, hold on. This is getting too political.
We need to just move on from that right now.
If I get started on that,
I'm going to cut you off. We're not getting started on the topic.
Let's just say Justin took a Latin American history class and is and just loves talking about it.
Oh, the shit we did to them is a topic for another time, which we'll probably won't cover ever in a video.
If you get a chance, do actually take a Latin American history class. It's very interesting.
It's eye-opening.
Mexico has some funny origins. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, that story's hilarious. But then, again, the story for another time.
And for a completely different podcast.
Yes.
Anyway. So Roberta's master gets vantage pointed.
Yep.
Just boom. And Roberta takes it very well. I'm kidding. She wants to murder everyone.
Yeah, needless to say, this sets her off again, and she decides to go on a murderous rampage against everybody.
Well, she's going to go up against... Well, okay, hold on. She wants to find the people who did it, who are part of the CIA, aka would get the U.S. military involved. However, those soldiers are hiding out in Roanapur, which could attract the United States to Roanapur, and then that ruins everyone else's day.
Yup.
And also, Roberta has kind of gone a bit more Terminator than before. Like, mix the Terminator with the vampire twins from last season, and you get at least half of how crazy she fucking is in this arc.
She just goes batshit insane, and it's scary... And it's glorious because not only is she just filled with hatred and revenge and just hopped up on, anger and adrenaline, she's
and
also...
a whole bottle of pills.
She's also hopped up on countless drugs and has just lost it mentally. She's just gone, basically.
Yeah, basically any sins from her past are now haunting her. She's chewing pills like they're fucking Tic Tacs and downing them with alcohol, which probably doesn't help.
Yeah.
But how does the Lagoon Company come into this? Well, they're surprisingly not hired by any of the main factions trying to get Roberta or the Americans out of the sea. But it turns out the young master and a new maid called Mini Maid come in and they're like, "Hey, Rock, can you help us out? You're usually good at this sort of thing, right?"
Yeah, they come in... Sorry.
But due to the events of last season, because it takes about, I want to estimate about 2 to 3 months after the events of the Japanese arc.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the OVA, there is a flower field, so that kind of hints that it might be springtime, I'd say.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking late March might be when this takes place.
It's been a couple months, yeah.
It's been a couple of months. And, Rock feels a bit down that anytime he's tried to save someone, they fucking die.
Yeah, he's pretty much only been able to save Roberta and Garcia Lovelace, basically, are the only two he's basically been able to save. Everyone else has been a horrible failure, so he kind of takes this personally. It kind of psychologically scars them, so when... Garcia and Mini Maid come in and try.
It's like, you can help us, and then everyone. First off, let's not get involved with the U.S. military. Second off, Rock, are you okay?
Yeah, he kind of gets flashbacks, and because at the end of Black Lagoon, I forget if we mentioned this or not. Balalaika just sent him a card as a memoir and a fuck you. Basically, it's like, here's a picture of the Yakuza girl, but also I put an X over it because she's fucking dead.
Because we got her. Fuck you.
Yeah, basically. And so, like, he's looking at them, and he's like, "Can you please help us?" They're begging him, and he just sees red X's over their faces because he's just afraid. He's just afraid I'm gonna just get them killed if I do this, basically.
And also, I'm not sure if we talked about this enough in the Season 2 thing.
Uh-huh.
But Revi also, when, I forget what was the Japanese girl's name. Do you remember?
Yukio,
thank you. I knew it was common in anime, but my brain just flatlined.
Because in Persona 4, there's a girl named Yukiko, but hers is Yukio.
Well, I was thinking of Future Diary with Yukio.
Oh, is there Yukio and Future? Oh, yeah, Oh, no, that's Yuno and...
Yuno, but I always messed up her name and thought it was Yukio.
Yuno Gazai, yeah.
No, because the main character in that is named Yuki, so I thought Yukio, and I confused their name. Anyway.
I got you.
That's a different topic.
I got you.
But, when Yukio killed herself, I could say spoilers, but we already talked about this. If you're assuming we're not going to talk about the rest of the series in this...
There's a spoiler warning at the beginning of the episode. We're fine.
Yeah. This is your own fault. I'm sorry. Uh, but while she was killing herself, Revy told Rock to look away, clearly knowing this would fuck him up, and he did, and it fucked him up. Surprise.
Yeah, it's a pretty heart-wrenching scene when she just pulls the sword against her throat, and Revy's like, Rock, don't look, and he just stares, not even looking away, as she stabs the fucking sword.
She shoves a whole katana through her throat, which is honestly impressive.
Yeah, she takes it and she stabs it, and it's like up to the hilt, basically, is where her throat is, and the entire thing's just sticking out the back of her fucking throat.
And that's before she hits the ground, too, so she got all the way through before dying.
Yeah.
Which I give a 9 out of 10. But anyway, so Rock is kind of fucked in the head, but he takes the job anyway, wanting to save at least one person.
Yeah.
And so now he was hired by Garcia to find Roberta. Revy tags along because she won't admit it, but, has some feelings for him. Except she did admit it in the last season.
Arc,
we'll get to that.
We'll get to why that's such bullshit.
Oh my god, that makes me so angry. But Revy also calls up Chinglish, which she has Spoopy and Wizard with her, and it turns into kind of a big ass war between the Colombians, Roberta, the Rock's gang, because it's not exactly a Lagoon Company.
No, it's just Rock, Revy, and Edda, I think, right?
Edda just kind of gives Rock supplies. She doesn't ever get in a fight.
No, it's Rock, Revy, Chinglish, Wizard, and Spooky. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's between
the Americans and the Russians show up later.
Hotel Moscow. Yeah.
Russians, Hotel Moscow. It's the same people.
I know it is, but Hotel Moscow sounds cooler.
It does. But Balalaika can't hurt me, so I'm going to make fun of
You want it! You Balalaika can't hurt you.
The fucking voice actress comes to my house and fucking strangles me.
Right? Throws you.
Oh, that'd be rad if the voice actress was as strong as Balalaika.
Yeah,
I'd be kind of happy.
She just picks you up, throws you on the table like she did Rock on the car. So I'm sorry.
Fucking suplexes me out of my house.
I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Sorry, hold on. I'm writing my fan fiction right now. Anyway. But okay. So Roberta goes on a fucking mad as killing spree. Rock has a huge Joker setup that plans everything that happened, because he turns this whole thing into a game. The Americans eventually catch up. They don't all get murdered by Roberta. The Russians help the Americans get out of town while also trying to show their own strength, so that way Americans don't come back to Roanapur.
They help them escape, but they also flex on them, saying, yo, we'll do this to you.
Yo, we're not even... This isn't even my final form.
Exactly.
And then just something easily gloss over, a big final fight where Roberta uses a musket as a harpoon gun.
It's so fucking cool. It's so cool.
Rock uses some blanks and trickery to make the young master, aka Garcia, shoot the person that Roberta was wanting to kill, and then getting Garcia shot technically by Roberta, which kind of snaps her out of this whole crazy thing. Mm-hmm. And then everyone kind of gets out okay, except for the multiple soldiers who were killed. Yeah. And also Roberta is missing an arm, and was she missing a leg as well?
Well, she stood up at the end, but I'm not...
No, she had prosthetic leg, so she was missing
leg,
one.
But she was missing an arm, and then her other arm had like 3 or 4 fingers.
Had missing fingers, which just, ew.
She gets fucked up, man.
I'm not saying ew because she was missing fingers, but like the way she dangling off by just a thin piece of skin, she just shakes her hand, they fly away.
There's a moment where she just flicks it off, and they just break off the skin and go into the jungle somewhere, where they presumably still are.
Well, no, something probably ate them.
Yeah.
And Rock claims victory, but also then kind of puts himself down by not winning somehow. I don't get his logic at the end.
I don't either.
And then it ends, and that was the arc.
Also, something I forgot to mention. I don't know if I'll cut this out or not, but you know how I joked that like Rock was starting to sound like Light at the end, where he's like, "Yes, everything's falling into plan."
Uh-huh.
The guy who voices Rock also voices Light Yagami.
Oh, that's great.
I looked that up and I was like, "Oh my god, I was joking." So that's two weird.
Cameron, I did watch Death Note.
So there's two weird connections now, because the guy voices Benny voices Ryuk, and Rock voices Light.
And Benny actually gives him a bunch of advice in this one.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, keep that in. Okay.
Absolutely. All right.
Man, that's basically the simplified version of the arc.
Yeah.
Should we start with the good or the bad? Because if we start with the bad, then we can end on the good.
Yeah, I think we should start with the bad. And like, I think we just, before that, we should preface it. This is still a great arc. This is still super awesome and highly entertaining.
Yeah, it's honestly a really good adrenaline rush, too. This is because this came out, I think we looked up, it was 4 years after the show.
Yeah, and clearly the animation got a increase in the budget. It's freaking awesome.
Because Madhouse Animation is just... Mwah.
Oh, they're so fucking good. Yeah, this is still a great arc. It's still in the top 5, I would say, yeah?
Yeah, I'd say top 5.
But it has some glaring problems, including what is probably the worst scene in all of Black Lagoon.
But first, that all that character development we were really banging on about for the last 2 seasons, it kind of takes a dive here.
See, the thing is, Rock gets really good character development, but
he does as well. I like it, and also I feel the show backpedals on it.
It does at the end, yes, because Rock does kind of go into, like, because they always said, like, in the last show, oh, he's still in the twilight or something. He does kind of go over the edge here and starts playing chess with people's games and kind of getting this...
Chess with people's games? You mean chess with people's lives?
Chess with people's lives, yes. That's exactly what I meant. And he's getting some kind of, like, sick thrill out of it. So he's kind of going over. But at the end... the show kind of backpedals and says, oh, yeah, you're still in the twilight for now.
Yeah, like, Revy says something where it's like, you almost lost it this time. It's like, no, he completely lost it.
He went over the edge. Let's be honest here. But yeah, Rock does, even though it backpedals a bit, I still felt it was fun and very rewarding to see Rock kind of go over the edge. Because in the actual show, you never see him do that. Like, it was hinting at.
Well, the most you get is in the Japan arc, but it isn't too far.
No, like, it was always hinting that Rock might someday go over the edge, and here we see that. And that was very rewarding for me because, like, when I first watched the anime, I didn't know if there was going to be, like, some big reveal at the end. Like, I kept thinking, like, because first time, completely blind watching this, I was like, what, is he at some point going to, like, throw on the Hawaiian shirt Revy gave him and start shooting people? It's like, no, he kind of stays there.
That would have been so fucking corny.
That would have been corny as fuck. But no, he kind of stays the same-ish throughout the show, but he does grow a bit. But here we do see him go over the edge in his own kind of way. Because he said in the ending arc of the actual series, he's like, we all have our hobbies. He's like, yours is starting wars. Some people's just dying in a gutter. Mine is playing with people's lives for a hobby or something. Well, I forget what exactly he says. But
no, trying to save people.
Trying to save people, that's his hobby or something. And we kind of see that more in this.
Fucking hobby.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we do see that more, and that was very interesting to me. So I still felt Rock got some really good development. Everyone else though, besides some...
Well, Benny also gets some good development. Like, he actually gets a good couple of scenes.
Yeah. Benny gets some good scenes, and we see, obviously, Garcia grow as a person. We see how much older he is and wiser and stuff like that. But...
he's not much wiser.
He's not much wiser. He's older, and we see, like, he's kind of taken some more responsibility. But besides that, everyone else just kind of takes a back seat, including Revy, which is unfortunate because clearly they wanted to do something with her, but either ran out of time or couldn't incorporate it into it.
Yeah, I have not gone far enough in the manga to read Roberta's Blood Trail, but a part of me really feels that there was either an arc between this, or the arc was longer and they just didn't fit in. Because there's a lot of things that just go kind of nowhere with Revy, or even some backpedaling where we just recover something we've already done before.
Yeah, there's a lot of recovering, and that's the biggest detriment to this arc, honestly.
Especially the one scene. The worst scene.
So we hinted about this in the last review we did of season 2. Let's talk about the scene with Minnie Maid and Revy.
Okay, well, first, a little recap on what happened in season 2. There was, it was after Rock's almost death by Balalaika's hands in the parking garage, where Revy is sitting back at the park bench near Rock's home with Rock and is telling him that she did look up to him and saw him as like a hope that she could get out of this sort of life.
Yeah, Balalaika calls her out on it, and she straight up admits it, kind of, without even kind of saying it, because she's like, yeah, she goes like, I see what you're saying, sis, now can you just put him down? So she doesn't deny it, basically.
Yeah, and then at the park, she's even like, I almost forgot I almost forgot the life I used to have. I can't remember the entire quote, but she's basically saying, I almost thought I could, but this is a reminder, I never can.
Yeah, because that's the whole point. It's subtly said in the series that, like, the reason she's so attracted to Rock is because she's hoping that, like, that's some sense of normality that she might be able to go back to that life, and it's kind of hinted at that, but they just kind of straight up say it in the series, and it's kind of ruined, honestly.
Well, here, Minnie Maid, a person who has known Revy for, I think at this point, 3 days.
If that, how didn't it take place? It did take place in like 2 days. How long was this arc exactly?
There was the day they met that passed.
Because did that pass after the big fight at night? Was that when it passed?
I want to say 3 or 4 days.
It's been 3 or 4 days. Yeah, that's it. That's all Minnie Maid's known Revy for.
Yeah. And Minnie Maid all of a sudden just goes, I get it. And then blatantly says all of this, and Revy acts like she, first off, doesn't admit it, and then goes and pouts for a bit, and then realizes Minnie Maid is right? Which is just like, we covered this.
Yeah, we went over this in the series, and it was much, much better done, and much more subtly done.
Yeah, she just bluntly says, like, oh, what are you gonna do? Go have a flower shop in South America? You never do that with him. You're stuck in this life. It's like, we did this. She openly accepted this, and it was in a much calmer fashion.
Yeah, and that's 2 layers right there, but there's another layer which kind of adds to the stupidity, is this is Minnie Maid saying this. She's known her for 4 days. It's like, I think we said if it was Rock calling her out on that would have made sense. But no, this is...
Yeah, or maybe, I don't know, Balalaika doing it. Oh, wait, again, we've done this!
Exactly!
And you pointed this out was also worse, is we find out Minnie Maid's backstory of she lived in, like, the worst part of Brazil. In a part completely covered in crime. Yet she acts high and mighty because she had a good family.
Yeah, her family was the one good family and all the terrible stuff. And, you know, she's like, oh, I've been around these people. That's why I trained and know these awesome moves. And that's I've seen people like you. Even though earlier in a scene when Revy kills somebody, she's like, why would you do this? That's so terrible. Didn't she just...
I just realized something even worse, actually. Well, something even more annoying.
Huh.
Rock heard some of Revy's backstory. Like, in the Nazi arc back in Season 1, she explains her childhood and how she came to this sort of life. Mm-hmm. And Rock, a person who has nothing to do with that sort of lifestyle, someone who has lived the most normal of lives, understands her.
Yeah.
But Minnie Maid, who apparently lived a similar life just with better parents, doesn't get her and says you're a completely different person. You're an asshole for acting like this.
Didn't you say later on in the arc you saw people like this? You aren't used to this kind of violence growing up there?
Yeah, make up your goddamn mind.
Yeah, and Minnie Maid's whole motivations and backstory is easily the weakest part of this whole thing, because it felt to me that whenever there was like a lazy writing thing or they needed someone to react, like they were used, oh, I grew up in this tough neighborhood, and as an excuse or something. It just felt like more of an excuse than an actual backstory.
Than an actual trait
yes.
or anything.
Oh, I grew up in this tough neighborhood, that's why I do this stupid bullshit, because we couldn't figure out something else. You know.
Also, I've never killed anyone, even though I'm able to dual-wield shotguns flip around.
Even though I'm able to dual-wield shotguns flip around, and I had no problem stabbing a man in the balls.
Yeah.
She was fine with that. You know,
I'm on my high horse. You're just a rabid dog.
Exactly! It's so stupid.
Oh, and then, even though Rock's plan put Garcia in danger, she comes up and is like, you fucking asshole. It worked. Yeah. Barely anyone important died.
You're all alive. Roberta is, fucked up, but alive. You're alive. You and Garcia are both unharmed.
And there isn't a war in Roanapur with the Americans. Exactly. I think Rock did his job.
Exactly. She comes up and shoots him with the blank. He's like, wow, you fucking asshole. I hope you never see him. I never ever see you again. I remember you just went, you're welcome.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm sorry. You're just welcome for everyone getting out alive.
Yeah. That's what you hired me to do, right? And I did it.
Oh no, Garcia took a non-lethal bullet. Boo fucking
hoo. He's bruised in his stomach or wherever he got shot. Boo hoo.
No, Roberta shot him with a real round.
Uh-huh.
But it wasn't lethal. He's fine.
Yeah. He's not dead. And I would say that's a win situation there.
I mean, I understand calling him, an asshole, but be like, I hope I never see you again, and not saying thanks. Fuck you.
Yeah, actually. So... yeah, because the writing does take just a bit of a nosedive at the end.
Yeah, there's just a real dive here, and...
it just almost felt rushed. Like, I think you're right, it almost felt like they wanted to do something more, but either A, didn't have the budget, or B, didn't have the allotted amount of episodes to do what they wanted to do.
Yeah. And there is something good that comes out of this.
Mm-hmm.
We see okay, I shouldn't say good. We get to see more of Revi's backstory, and it is honestly fucking horrifying in a way. I will say that. Same trigger warnings that were said in the Vampire Vampire Kids arc. I'd like to point that out in case anyone needs to skip ahead. So number here, we'll talk. This one should be a lot shorter than the Vampire Kids. But we do see, Revi get abused by her parents. We see the cops literally just look at her, laugh, and then take her to a prison, beat on her, and then rape her, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Until she snaps and murders her father.
Yeah, she murders her father. Probably the police officer, too, that did that, but... yeah.
Yeah, hopefully. Fucking pig.
But, yeah, oh my god, that... I remembered that in vivid detail, and I remember you said you forgot about that, but I
remembered it showed the flashback. I forgot about the police officer part.
No, I never forgot that. That's so fucked up. Ugh.
And... I feel like if they did Minnie Maid's dialogue better, I understand her slightly bragging about, I was also in this horrible situation, but I made it out fine. Why are you why did you have to take everything like this or that? And then that bringing up memory of her childhood. That makes some sense to me.
Yes.
But since Minnie Maid was written like such a bitch,
Yeah, for
and
real.
and honestly, just bringing this up for almost no real compelled reason, it just felt kind of pointless.
Yeah, it felt pointless, and it just didn't feel natural, and it's so out of place, just for the fact that the rest of the series is so well written in that regards. Like, it's held to such a high standard that just that kind of lazy writing just feels like kind of a slap in the face a little bit.
I really do hope we get another season or an OVA, because I know the manga has gone on longer, and I'd like to see these characters again and see them done with these voice actors.
Yeah.
So hopefully to kind of fix the real downfalls of this arc.
Mm-hmm. And again,
but there was.
Oh, sorry. I
was going to segue into talking about good stuff.
I'll let you do that. I'll let you do that. Nope, go on.
But that's not to say there isn't good. There isn't some good here, aka 80% of it.
Yeah, the arc more than makes up for the lazy writing in the action, the animation, and just the execution of the setup of the plot is great.
Yeah, this, in a blunt way, how we talked in season 2 of how the vampire arc, what do we call it? The Madhouse arc, I'll call it.
Mm-hmm.
How those were like, how dark the show gets, how uplifting it gets. That comes to a head here, because the comedy is super on point, but the serious moments, besides the parts with Minnie Maid, are really well done.
Yes. Yeah,
and really fucked at times.
Yeah, the balance, again, for the most part, the balance between serious and humorous is done fantastically. Wizard comes back, which is always an amazing thing.
Actually, when Revy calls up Chinglish, you see Spoopy and Wizard playing a video game together, which is them playing a shoot-'em-up side-scroller where the main character is Revy, which is very confusing in my brain, and I don't want to think about it.
I just think it's adorable. Him and Spooky played there, and they're like them bobbing their heads in sync and everything. It was adorable.
Yeah.
And that's funny too, because whenever like they're in a big group, like they have their posse or whatever you want to call it, Rock's posse. Whenever they're like talking and they're like just standing there, a wizard's always in the background just posing.
Yeah, doing a fucking JoJo pose. Just because he doesn't smoke.
Yeah, every time you see him, he's just posing.
Yeah, Wizard is such a fun cliche.
And we get the one of my favorite wizard, probably the best wizard line is just, "Hey, wouldn't that make for a really cool entrance?"
Yeah, because they're thinking of how to finally attack the Americans, and the wizard just pops in and points at a big balcony and goes, "Wouldn't that make a really cool entrance?"
They do like the anime shing, and he like pushes up his glasses or something. It's great.
Or when he saves Minnie Maid from getting shot up, and then just after his long monologue, Spoopy comes in and chops them all with a chainsaw.
Yeah, you see this long monologue, like my gun is like a spirit of justice or something, and it seeks out in the blah blah blah, and Spoopy just comes with a chainsaw, and just fucks them all up. It's great.
And the blood is so... I think Madhouse did do Hellsing Ultimate. I'm not 100% on that.
I'm pretty sure they did too. But yeah, this feels very Hellsing Ultimate in a lot of the action scenes.
The blood is especially Hellsing Ultimate. Just that very vibrant and fountain-esque blood.
Oh, it's glorious. It's fucking awesome.
Every action scene is just... Oh, it's a gorehound's dream.
It's
honestly
fabulous. Oof.
Like when Roberta first attacks the Americans, she's using a 50 cal with a grenade launcher attached on the bomb, and you see some of the soldiers just get hit and they turn into paste. Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's like she hits them and you just see a big thing of red and they're just gone, and all that's there is like their hats or something flying off. It's great.
Yeah, it's just like half a second, boom, head is gone.
And mind you, she's using a 50 cal with a grenade launcher, and she's one-arming the fucking thing.
One-arming it, no scope on it. It's just so cool.
Oh, it's cool. It's so stupid, and it would never happen in real life, but god damn it, it is cool.
And Roberta's insanity in this is so... It's so creepy, but so fun in a way.
It's really fucked at points. Because the thing is, though, I have to give major props to the English voice actress. She really conveyed, like, Revi's insanity so well. And,
you mean Roberta's?
Roberta's insanity so well, and just switching between crazy Roberta and, like, something else was just fantastically done. Like, she's talking, like, all crazy, but then, like, just, I noticed when I was too, when she went crazy, she's like, her voice starts cracking like this, and then and she just goes crazy, and it's creepy. But some of the creepiest moments were when, like, she's going through all this fucked up shit, like killing people and being all creepy and shit, and then, like, she sees Roberta or she sees Minnie Maid, and she just switches mentally, like she's back at the mansion or whatever, and she's like, oh, hello there, I think I saw the young master there, you might attend to it, and just keeps walking. It's just so creepy.
Yeah, it zooms in on her face, and she still has the big wholesome eyes, but is drenched in blood.
Yeah. It's just... Sorry, go on.
No, I'll let you go.
No, I really didn't have anything. Sorry, go on.
I insist.
No, I'm letting you do it because you had something and I didn't.
Okay. Probably my favorite moment of her insanity is Garcia catches up with her. And one soldier did recognize who Roberta was and tries to get her to come back.
Yeah, he, like, tries to recruit her.
And also tries to fuck her.
Yeah.
But, Roberta shoots him with a belt gun after, tricking him to step back so she can take off her pants. Which, this entire time, Garcia is hearing this and is horrified.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, I find that hilarious of her just, like, her and the guy talking about this fucking gross-ass, gory scene in a really horny manner.
It's like, it's so ridiculous you kind of can't help but laugh at it. It was probably intended to have just a bit of dark humor edge to it. But, yeah, she's just like, oh, the smell of blood and dead bodies makes me want to fuck, or something, and licks her lips. I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
But yeah, she's like, take off my pants. And he's like, I'm not falling for that. You do it. And has a belt gun, which is real, by the way. The Nazis actually had, but there were only a few made. But since a Nazi U-boat was close to Roanapur, it could be assumed that she bought it from a pawn shop. Anyway, I looked too much into this. I wanted to bring it up.
That's a very good headcanon. I'll give you that. It's a very well thought out headcanon. It's a logical conclusion. I'll give you that.
I mean, I don't know how she, in all this time, she was able to clean it up and make it work, but whatever. She kills the guy and then senseis his skull, which they do show, and it's fucking brutal.
Mm-hmm.
And the entire time, Roberta has been seeing this one ghostly figure, who we later find out is a Japanese electrician, I think it was. It was the electrician or technician.
I thought that was the head of the household that died.
No, he says that he was a Japanese electrician who she killed while on a mission and kind of felt bad about because he was just a civilian.
Okay.
But he keeps appearing to her as a ghost and is Garcia tells her to stop her fucking sensei of the dude's skull, and then kind of falls into a shock in fetal position. Mm-hmm. And she's feeling really bad, and it's like, oh my god, I didn't want you to see this. And then Ghost Man shows up and is kind of taunts her in a way. Mm-hmm. Or is kind of bringing up, like, if you just stayed at the mansion, this wouldn't have happened.
Exactly.
And then she convinces herself that it's just the ghost fucking with her, and Garcia isn't there. And the best way to prove that is to pull out her pistol and try to shoot it, because once it hits nothing, it will prove to her that no one is actually there.
Yeah, she just mentally convinces herself it, and it's a great scene to just show how fucking far gone she is. And the only reason he's not dead is because the Americans somehow got to him on time and swooped him up before Roberta could kill him.
Yeah. I don't know why I love that scene so much, but it's just this pure moment of insanity.
Yeah.
And it's darkly funny to me.
Yeah. Well, it's darkly funny, but also just fun. It's almost like a Sam Raimi type of horror. Like, it's darkly funny, but it's also fucked up, really. It's scary.
Yeah. But there's a good couple of moments, like, well, not reaching to that level, but there's a couple of moments just her batshit craziness that are so fun to watch.
Yeah. She's gone. She is unhinged. She is on drugs and just fueled by nothing but revenge. And it's just it's a glorious. Like, when they say Roberta's blood trail, they are not kidding. This is her. She's just gone and unhinged and in just kill mode, like 80% of the time.
Yeah, especially the fucking harpoon musket.
Oh my god. So she goes to a gun technician in Royanapur, and that's kind of how they help track her down. But like, there's a musket at the Lovelace mansion, and it didn't work anymore. But she went to him and had it fixed and all that, so it'd be in working condition. And she she basically makes a battlefield. She just sticks all these harpoons in the ground, and then just when the soldiers come, she's like, "Oh no, what are these?" And she's just running around picking up the harpoons, putting it in the musket, putting gunpowder in it, and just firing them at people and impaling them. It's great.
And then when she loses her fingers first, I do feel they nerfed her at the end, if that makes sense.
What do you mean?
Like, she just goes full on bloodlust, when before she was jumping around and dodging like crazy. Now it was just like, I'm going to charge directly at you with my harpoon gun.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, I mean, well, she had a strategy at first, but then she got shot in the leg with a sniper rifle, and presumably a bunch of bullets shot through her when she was taking down the other two people. So at this point, she was kind of weakened, honestly.
Yeah, I'm just saying that because she seemed to be a lot more tactical beforehand, and that it was like, okay, yep, now I'm going to just charge until everything is dead or I am dead.
Yeah. And I mean, there is a strategy to it. She's still like ducking around behind trees and under the grass and all that, but you're right, it's a more aggressive tactic. She's more aggressively hunting them down instead of, staying back and picking them off or whatever.
Yeah, and this is just a nitpick. This isn't actually something I'm angry about.
Mm-hmm.
But she fucking loses her fingers, like we said earlier, and then just puts a bayonet on there and starts charging at everyone.
It's great. Yeah. But yeah, that's great. Obviously, action's great. Roberta's great. Oh my god.
The new intro is really fucking cool.
Yeah. I like it, honestly, better than the original.
I do too. I might have like different imagery for the intro, but I do like the song a bit more for some reason.
Yeah. Because it's a remix of Red Fraction, which is the theme. So
yeah, take the original intro song and make it for a Blade nightclub, and that's what you get.
It's basically a Devil May Cry intro, which is why it's awesome.
Yeah. And besides Rock's development, us finding out a bit more about Chang, Balalaika, I couldn't think of her name for a second, Balalaika, and a little bit about Dutch.
Yeah. Or you mean Benny?
Well, we also found out a bit about Dutch,
yeah, about him being in
with the
Vietnam.
favor.
Yeah. We found out with the favor, and we found out he was stationed in Vietnam as well. So.
Yeah, and he was he knew the war, that China Sea so well because he was a boat in Vietnam.
Yeah. So we found out a bit more about Dutch's backstory, which is always good. So
yeah, it's nice to know a bit more about Dutchy boy.
Yep.
But probably the best character moment also comes a bit at the end when Revy. Well, it would be the best if they let it play out.
Mm-hmm.
Because after Revy's little temper tantrum in the hull of the boat, she comes out to yell at Rock because he's clearly gone out of the twilight and into the dark.
Yeah, she's like, I don't even fucking know who you are anymore.
Yeah, and there is this kind of great, like, it's building to an argument, sort of like Calm Down Two Men.
Mm-hmm.
But then it just cuts away, and then they're fine with each other again. It's just like, okay.
Yeah, they don't really follow through with it, and if they would have followed through with it, it would have been great, honestly. It's just a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it's a bit of wasted potential there, if we're being honest. Is there anything else we have for this arc?
I don't know, because just besides the really glaring faults with the character moments, the rest of it's great, honestly. Music's still great, action's still great, I don't know. I think that's about it.
The action's great. The American characters, they do some corny shit to try and get you to like them instantly.
What do you mean?
Where it's like, oh, he has 2 kids. Hey, kid, we're going to give you a candy bar. Because they save Garcia from Roberta, and then they're trying to be like, oh, we're going to help this kid out. But, Garcia's a bit mad because they're the ones who killed his dad.
Yeah, understandably so. And like you said, like the look on in his eyes, it's just like, well, you guys are nothing but bodies now. You're all gonna die.
It's like, oh, I'm with the American soldiers. Roberta is looking for the soldiers, and now they have me. Oh no! Oh no! Oh.
And then they try to do this weird like comparison with like Day of the Dead or something. It's really strange and forced, honestly.
It's because it's the Roamper they've referred to multiple times as
the Walking Dead. Yeah. And it's like, oh, you're nothing like those skeletons in the Day of the Dead or something. And they say something else like, oh, the Dance of Death or something. And I'm just like, come on. We didn't.
Well, all of them know the Dance of Death because they're assassins and mercenaries. I get that.
But it's just like, we didn't need that. That was already, again, done in the series and much better.
Well, they say it earlier, but then they say you're thinking of the second time after the hallway kill, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, when like they actually flash to a skeleton or something when Minnie.
Yeah, that moment was a bit too cheap. Oh, that's also a thing to hate.
Again,
they try to have the U-boat talk with Minnie Maid, but it goes too quickly, and we've done this before.
Yeah, that's the thing, is we always have hated that scene. But like in retrospect and rewatching it and actually thinking about it, it's gotten worse.
Yeah, just any point with if we could cut out Minnie Maid, this arc would be a lot better.
Yeah, like she has a cool action scene at the beginning, but like that's about it. So the few things I like about Minnie Maid is that's a really rad action scene.
It is, and also probably one of the most painful nut shots in anime history.
Straight up, like, it's kind of like, if any of my fellow James Bond fans out there have seen From Russia with Love, with the shoe with the blade that comes out of it, she has that except on her heel, and she just, like, fucking blade comes out, backpedals it, and stabs the dude right through the fucking nuts.
Yeah, because she's picked up by one of the Colombians, she raises her foot above her head and then slams it back between his legs.
Man, I guess the creators of the show just really fucking hate Colombians, man.
Dude, like, fuck Colombians.
They always get, like, theirs is the gang that's always wiped out, and they always get the most painful deaths.
Well, I guess they didn't want to go with Mexican cartel.
Yeah.
They didn't want to do, the generic mob. So they're like, Colombians.
Oh, man. But, yeah. So, yeah, besides that, the rest of the arc's great, and yeah, I'd say that's about it.
Except there's a bit more of Black Lagoon we could talk about.
Alright, so,
hard cut to the intro. The Omake!
So other shows have done this too, where there's a thing in anime, if you don't know, where like they make like kind of mini joke episodes, which are referred to as omake. I forget exactly what other shows, because I know I watched at least one other show that had an omake, but Black Lagoon.
Or sometimes it's the short between credits and and next time on blank.
Like, Tokyo Ghoul had that, I know, but
yeah, Tokyo Ghoul had stuff like that.
But yeah, it's called an omake. It's just a short,
omake.
Yeah,
I'm sure we're saying it wrong.
But it's basically just a short mini episode that's like almost always played for comedy that's non-canon.
And these were in the manga. They're usually at the end, thicker volumes.
Mm-hmm.
And these are just stupid but funny.
Yeah. Like, they're more stereotypical, like, anime stuff and, like, comedy and stuff like that, but they're a bunch of fun to watch, if I'm being honest. It's just a fun little thing for after the show, where if you're in the mood for a little more, like, jokey thing, just watch these. They're funny.
Yeah, they're pretty simple. My personal two favorites are the gender bent one and the Magic Girl episodes.
Magical Revy, yeah.
Actually, my Twitter, the banner I have is the final shot of episode 7 of the Omake, where Revy and Balalaika are trying to start a mariachi band.
Yeah, because I guess
I'm not leaving out any context there, by the way.
Because the Washing Machine Clan is trying to start, like, this talent show thing where they're going to put on a show. And I guess Revy and Balalaika are like, hey, we're going to start a mariachi band. Want to join? And he's like, nah, I'm good.
And then Rock says no. That's it. That's the joke. But I love that shot because of how disappointed Revy looks.
It's so funny. Yeah, it's so well done.
The gender bent one is just it's done in a funny way.
Yeah, it's very Japan comedy, like sexual comedy, and it's pretty damn funny.
There isn't actually much to cover here. These are just funny little shorts. They're free on YouTube.
Yeah.
They were never dubbed, and you can actually hear how terrible Dutch's Japanese voice is.
Because Revy's, we never cared for Revy's, but it's not bad. Dutch is just no.
Dutch does not look like the voice that would come out of that man.
No, for the dub, they absolutely did the right thing with getting like an actual cool ass motherfucker to voice fucking Dutch.
Oh, there was one thing actually I want to mention about Roberta's Blood Trail.
Okay.
And this isn't a super negative. This is just kind of a sort of sigh.
Okay.
There's a pointless amount of nudity when it comes to Roberta and Revy at the beginning.
It's a lot more fan servicey, kind of for no reason.
Yeah, it's like, here's Revy naked in the shower. It's like, why? What's the point?
I mean, I know in the manga she's a lot more heavily sexualized, but the anime really cut back on that a lot. And for some reason, no, just here's her naked in the shower with just a towel over her.
Like, I'm not against it. I don't mind characters being sexualized, male or female. It's just when it's done so shamelessly and not as a joke, I kind of roll my eyes.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
It's like, here's a shower scene.
Yeah, and like you said, it's not a huge detriment. There's only 2 examples of it, but it's still kind of just out of place and awkward.
It's out of place and awkward, especially when this arc gets a bit darker too. So, yeah. So, anything else?
None that I can think of.
Yeah, that was for me at least. That's my number one. Still, Black Lagoon.
That's your what?
It's my favorite anime, just number 1.
It's hard for me. For me, top 3 I'd absolutely say are Bebop, Black Lagoon, and Trigun. But it kind of just gravitates for me sometimes between Bebop and Black Lagoon. It's hard to say, honestly.
Those are two fair decisions. In case anyone was wondering, my top 3 goes Foolie Cooley, Cowboy Bebop, and then Black Lagoon.
Nice.
Foolie Cooley also covers Foolie Cooley Progressive, and the 3rd season never happened.
You haven't even seen it.
I haven't, but I don't want to.
Yeah. We've heard from your brother and other people that it's not as good, right?
It's just jokes, and that's not what Foolie Cooley is about, in my opinion.
Foolie Cooley.
But that will be another time whenever we talk about Foolie Cooley. Fine.
Yep. Yeah,
so now, it's time to spin the wheel, right?
Nope.
Cameron, we've spent so many episodes not spinning the wheel.
Yeah, but...
we get to spin the wheel now, right?
We're going to Hannibal Season 2, buddy.
But that's not spinning a wheel.
We spin the wheel after Hannibal Season 2 to see the in-between, which was Black Lagoon this time.
But I haven't spun the wheel in months.
I know. You spun the wheel for fun, but I know we have enough for the show. We have to do it after we watch Hannibal Season 2.
But that's like 4 more episodes from now.
Is it 4? Oh yeah, it would be.
Well, yeah, because it would go Hannibal.
Yeah.
Well, movie Hannibal Season 2, movie Hannibal Season 2.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy.